What's up, Dark Truth Crew? Today, we're diving into some shocking cases that come with unexpected twists. These stories are so unbelievable, they could easily be movie plots. But every detail is true. Sharon Marshall. Our first case involves Sharon Marshall, a young woman whose life took a tragic turn. In high school, she was an outstanding student and a lieutenant colonel in the ROTC, with dreams of studying aerospace engineering at Georgia Tech. However, during her senior year, she became pregnant and chose to keep it a secret from her boyfriend. After giving birth, she placed her son for adoption, which dramatically altered her plans. Sharon eventually moved to Tampa, Florida, with a man named Franklin Delano Floyd. Despite their complicated relationship, Sharon soon found herself pregnant again, this time deciding to raise her son, Michael Gregory Marshall, with Frank. To support her family, Sharon worked as an exotic dancer, while Frank struggled to maintain steady employment due to health issues. Their relationship was fraught with tension, especially after an incident where Frank confronted Sharon's friend Cheryl Camesso, leading to Cheryl reporting Sharon to social services. Following this, Cheryl went missing under suspicious circumstances, and Frank and Sharon became prime suspects. Despite their questionable behavior, they managed to evade direct evidence linking them to Cheryl's disappearance. The couple moved frequently and even married, using different aliases to avoid detection. However, tragedy struck when Sharon suffered a severe head injury in what appeared to be a hit-and-run accident. She died shortly after, raising suspicions about Frank's involvement. In the aftermath, it was revealed that Frank had a long criminal history, including a conviction for abducting a young girl. Following Sharon's death, he attempted to claim a life insurance policy, which led to his arrest and subsequent investigation. While in custody, Frank was linked to Cheryl's murder when her remains were discovered, along with disturbing photographs taken from a truck he had abandoned. These photos included evidence of other assaults, leading to further inquiries into his past. Eventually, investigators uncovered the shocking truth about Sharon's identity. She was Suzanne Marie Savarkis, the daughter of Frank's wife from a previous relationship. Frank had kidnapped her as a child, raised her under different aliases, and even married her as an adult. In an even darker twist, Frank later confessed to murdering Michael while on the run, hiding his body in an undisclosed location. Though he was convicted for Cheryl's murder and remains on death row, he has never been charged with Sharon's death, leaving many questions unanswered. Frank's story is a harrowing reminder of the depths of human depravity, intertwined with tragedy and lost lives. Gregory Villemin. On August 24, 1980, Gregory Villemin was born to Jean-Marie and Christine Villemin in Lépanges-sur-Vallon, France. The family had recently moved into a new home and appeared to be thriving. However, their happiness was short-lived when they began receiving anonymous threatening letters and phone calls directed at Jean-Marie, with vague threats of revenge that lasted for 4 years. Tragedy struck on October 16, 1984, when 4-year-old Gregory disappeared while playing in the garden. His mother, Christine, quickly reported him missing and searched the nearby village. During the search, Gregory's uncle received a chilling phone call claiming responsibility for the kidnapping and stating that Gregory had been thrown into the Vallon River. The next day, a letter arrived that seemed to be connected to Gregory's disappearance, expressing disdain for Jean-Marie and vowing revenge. Tragically, Gregory's body was discovered later that day, bound and drowned, just a few kilometers from home. This heartbreaking event sent shockwaves throughout France, leading to the case being known as the Asterisk Affaire de Gregory Asterisk. Investigators soon dubbed the perpetrator Le Corbeau, the Crow, inspired by a famous French film. They analyzed the threatening letters and narrowed down their suspects. In 1985, Bernard Laroche, Jean-Marie's cousin, was arrested based on a witness statement from his sister-in-law. Despite his denial of involvement and her eventual recantation of the statement, tensions remained high. Jean-Marie publicly accused Laroche of murdering Gregory and vowed revenge. This culminated in Jean-Marie killing Laroche in a fit of rage at his workplace. He was subsequently convicted of murder and sentenced to 5 years in prison. In a shocking turn, Christine was later charged with Gregory's murder, despite being pregnant with twins. She protested her innocence through a hunger strike, but was eventually released after an appeal due to a lack of solid evidence. Tragically, she suffered a miscarriage upon her release. Over the years, the case continued to haunt France, leading to multiple reopenings and investigations. Despite various tests on the letters and the evidence collected, no conclusive results were found. In 2017, the case was reopened again, leading to 3 arrests, including Gregory's great-aunt and uncle. Unfortunately, none were convicted, and the investigation remained unresolved. The magistrate in charge of the original case, Jean-Michel Lambert, even took his own life due to the immense pressure surrounding the ongoing mystery. The motivations behind Gregory's murder have never been fully understood, with theories ranging from family jealousy to work-related issues involving Jean-Marie. Nearly every family member has been under suspicion at some point. In December 2020, the investigation was reopened once more, with authorities determined to identify the true culprit. Utilizing a new technology called stylometrics to analyze the writing style of the threatening letters, a new suspect has emerged, but their identity has yet to be revealed. The hope is that justice for Gregory Villemin may finally be within reach. Nicholas Barclay. Our next case is far from ordinary and has a twist that seems unbelievable. Nicholas Barclay was born on December 31, 1980, as the youngest of 3 siblings in San Antonio, Texas. He had a typical childhood, but as a preteen, he gained a reputation for being troubled. Nicholas often clashed with his mother, skipped school, threatened teachers, and even broke into a convenience store. By age 13, he had a juvenile record and several tattoos from friends. He was also diagnosed with attention deficit disorder, leading his mother to ask his older brother Jason for help supervising him. On June 13, 1994, Nicholas called home after playing basketball, but his brother told him to walk back instead of waking their mother. Nicholas never made it home. Initially, many believed he had simply run away, especially since he had a court hearing the next day regarding a possible stay in a rehabilitation center. However, after an extensive search yielded no results, the family began to accept that Nicholas might be lost forever. 3 years later, in 1997, a shocking turn of events occurred when the family was informed that Nicholas had been found alive in Linares, Spain. Allegedly, he had escaped from a child trafficking ring. His sister Carrie traveled to Spain to bring him home, but when she arrived, Nicholas seemed frightened and wore a hat and sunglasses to hide his identity. Despite his changed appearance and heavy French accent, Carrie recognized him, and he passed a police test to confirm his identity. However, there were glaring inconsistencies, such as his dark hair and brown eyes, which contrasted sharply with his original blonde hair and blue eyes. Nicholas claimed his captors had altered his appearance to protect his identity. The family, relieved to have him back, dismissed the growing concerns of the authorities. A documentary crew started following the Barclays to document Nicholas's reintegration into the family, but a private investigator grew suspicious of his true identity. He compared Nicholas's ears to earlier photos and found discrepancies, leading to an investigation by the FBI. It was revealed that the boy claiming to be Nicholas was a 23-year-old Frenchman named Frédéric Pierre Bourdin, a notorious con artist known as the Chameleon, who had assumed over 500 different identities. Despite the revelation, the Barclays struggled to accept that Frédéric wasn't Nicholas, even when he admitted to being an imposter in court and pleaded guilty to passport fraud. This raised questions about the real Nicholas's fate and why Barclays accepted Frédéric so easily. Frédéric later claimed that Carrie had coached him on family details, which raised further suspicions about the family's involvement. The case took a darker turn when Jason, Nicholas's brother, died from a drug overdose, complicating the investigation further. With no other evidence to pursue, the case went cold. Frédéric continued his life of identity theft across Europe, while Nicholas's whereabouts remain unknown. His story inspired the Netflix documentary The Imposter. Outro. Thank you for joining us on this journey through these remarkable stories. If you found these cases intriguing, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more deep dives into the most shocking mysteries and true crime stories. Until next time, stay curious.